Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Nice Suwana's in the house. Hello. I am doing well myself. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. This is all going to be experimental for me. I've never done this before. We are going to do it though. Yes, we're going to do it. Let's get the intro down. We always got to do the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, whether you are on this planet or any other planet, whether you're in this universe or any other universe, whether you're in this dimension or any other dimension, you have found the factory original, the one and only BB-80, yours truly, the silly man himself, Backward Bloom 80. What's going on? Hello. How is my friends doing today? I hope everyone is doing fantabulous. Let me turn off the filters, because it is going to be very hard to see me. So come on, turn off filters. Filters are off. Now you can actually see door frames, background, lots of sunlight. There we go. Maybe that'd be better if I just go like this. No, that's the microphone. This is me right here in front of me. Too much light. Yeah, that's what happens when you're working outdoors. Is you have a lot of sun that is just coming right in, ruining the shot, so to speak. So I'm going to look a little bit dark. So I apologize about that. But the whole idea is today I'm going to be moving this camera quite a bit because we are going to do a sword, the Clint sword from Tales of Vesperia. Speaking of Clint's sword, let me run inside and get it so you can get a photo of it. It's on my printer. I printed it out, did everything I'm supposed to show everybody, and guess what? Left it inside. So give me 1 second, be right back. Won't be long. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that. So look, this beautiful piece of paper, hopefully it'll come in. Let's see if the screen will catch up. There's the sword. Got a little bit higher there. There's the guy. This is the sword I'm making right here. Not the guy himself, just the sword. I'm not sure how I'm coming on camera, so maybe come a little bit this way. Yeah, that gets a better view of it. You don't need to see me, you need to see that. So that gets a sword. Someone has already done it themselves. This is someone else's creation that I saw I thought was pretty cool looking. Yeah, let's see if I can get a little bit higher so you can see it. So you can see she created a one hand. She came up with her own idea. It looks pretty cool itself. So that's what I'm going to be creating today. At least we're going to start on it. I'm not going to finish it today. There's no way, especially with the detail of this right in here where my fingers hiding and pointing to at the moment. This detail right in here, that's going to be some really good work there. That's going to take some patience. So you can see it has a clamp that goes into a handle that's going through the bottom of the pieces there. So I'm going to be able to do that. It's just going to take some time. And then if you come down further to this one here, towards the blade right on top, where my finger now is, that's also going to be an extra little piece right there, that little gray stuff, not the silver where the blade is, but that's going to be another little piece that I'm going to have to glue on. Then the silver part, that's just going to be paint and then a little bit of sandpaper to get the blade up and looking good and stuff. So how do we do this? This is not hard. To me, it's not hard. I can't speak for everybody, but to me, it's not hard. It takes though a lot of time. You got to be precise. So let's show you a little bit of magic here of how I do it. Let's get this chair out of the way. I got a massive piece, and I'm going to have to probably just take the camera and show you. This is called styrofoam residential. Let's see if it says sheeting insulation. Yeah, maybe I get that straight. Styrofoam residential sheeting insulation. As you can see, sorry about all the camera going all crazy. You can see it's a very long piece. It is 10 feet in length, to be honest with you. It's a massive, massive piece. So this piece here, you can get in any hardware store. It's not real thick. I'll get a smaller piece, show you. So this is a lot smaller piece. Look how thick that is. That's the perfect thickness for that sword that we're trying to build there. It's got the pieces that show, especially when you're looking around right in here where the handle is. I'll put my finger right where I need it to be. If you look at that border right there, may not show too well on the camera, but it has it right, especially on the handle, on the right below where I'm putting my finger right on it. That's about the same thickness of this board here. Sorry that I can't really give a good control of the camera and stuff. I'm not set up too well, but this is the same thickness as what I perceive that's going to be. You can see I already have plenty of different pieces that I've cut up and done. This thing it's light as a feather. This whole 10-foot board over here probably weighs maybe about 2 pounds at the very most. It's super light. The great thing about this is it's automatically waterproof. The only thing you don't want to do is you don't want to put spray paint. Everything's got to be brush painted with this. Okay? So you get your paints that you need, you get your glues, you get everything you need, then you can get started. So the way I do this, as you can see, I print out the picture. The other thing I do is I start by the picture. I get and this is me, everybody has their own method, but I have a ruler here. It has inches only, unfortunately, it doesn't have the metrics. But I actually go and I start measuring how big each piece is. So like, for example, that little cut right there, 3.5 inches is what I show. And that's just a rough estimate. So you can see in there, about 3.5 inches, maybe closer to 4 for that little handle area right there. So why is that important? So when you measure this thing total on the piece of paper, it's going to be about 9 inches, to be honest with you. You don't want a 9-inch sword. That's not realistic. A 9-inch sword doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like this at all. So you want the sword to be realistic. You want about a 5'4" sword, 4 foot, 5 foot sword. You want the sucker to be about the size of you. Especially if you're looking at him on several different pictures, it's just about as big as he is. So me personally, by measuring out that 3.5 inches on the ruler on that, when I start to get a pencil and I start to trace, I'm going to do this the wrong way, I start looking at the design and go, okay, I will get with my ruler and I would say, oh, this looks about 3 inches here. And I'll put a point, and then I'll look, is that a straight line? It has a little curve over here, it's a little curve, and then it gets straight, and it comes down to such. I don't know if that's showing up too well. I'm not showing that too well, so let me lower that down. So I have a point here to point here. You can see that there, hopefully. And then I start curving up, and then I start coming down. And I drew a little line, so that gives me about what I'm seeing on paper here. And then I see a little indentation to where it comes back like such. You can already start getting an idea of what it looks like. And this is a small version here. So when I look at 3.5 inches here, and I want it to be 5 feet, then I start breaking this down by point after point after point. So I'm going to plot this And it's going to eventually probably be more realistically about this long for that piece right there where the handle is. About that long. Maybe a little bit shorter. But that whole little gun piece, what I'll call it the gun piece, from here to here, that's probably about a good fit. But the reason why you're wanting to go ahead and use that big monster board over there is because you want the entire thing to be one piece. One entire piece. This is obviously not long enough. Now, if you're wanting to do the little decoration pieces, like this stuff right here where my finger is, this little bolt that grabs, you can use your spare pieces to, this spare piece right here in front of me, as your little cutout pieces. You also use these little spare pieces as experiments. Now, styrofoam, piece of cake to cut if you have the right tools. If you don't have the right tools, a knife, a regular knife's not going to cut this. You're going to have a mess on your hands. So you need the right tools. I have this bad boy, a heated knife. If you have a heated knife, you have these sharp blades. You're going to cut through that real easily because this is styrofoam. Styrofoam and heat go well together. They cut. You can see the nice, easy, clean cuts that have gone through this from that hot knife. Now, you can use styrofoam to make anything. I'm really tempted to do it. You see how I have a perfect circle? Not a perfect circle, but I got a circle right here. You can cut another circle right in here, and you can put this, make a little hole in the center. Maybe you have a cutout or cut it in half. The circle cut in half where you go over here, cut this in half. You have top piece, bottom piece, and then you make like another hole here in the center. Then you can place it in front of your clock. You can get a clock face, slim it down a little bit, make this background anything you want. You can paint it. I'm really thinking about doing BB-80, you know, the BB-80, and then have the little clock hands right here in the middle, and then maybe doing the little indentions right around the clown sound every 15 minutes or so. An indention here, indention here, indention there, so on and so forth. So, can make a clock face background with the styrofoam. Piece of cake, real easy. It's not hard at all. So, styrofoam is really, really good for cosplay because it's really, really light. It's automatically waterproof. So when you're using paints, you want to paint this, get an outdoor paint. Because the outdoor paint, if you get it wet, it's designed to get wet. If it gets smudgy, stains, whatever, you can get a nice little cloth, wipe it down, and it will take care of it. So now you get an idea. Now the hard part is next. The starting of the drawing. The drawing takes me a good long time. So don't be frustrated if you don't get it the first time. I do a lots of drawing backwards and forwards, trying to get everything just perfect. So you see how quick and easy that styrofoam just broke. I just broke a piece off in this, boom. Styrofoam, real easy. Breaks super easy. But right here, this already gives me a good, as you can see in the picture right there, let's look at that a little closer. Hopefully it's showing up. See where his hand is? Look at this piece. See that there? Boom. Right there. You already have a good piece. That's probably be about a good handle piece right there. Check that out. Look at the handle piece where his hand is grabbing, and then look at the styrofoam. It's almost got the curve that I want, even the size right here. So right there, just by accident, I already have one of the pieces that I need. This top piece here, this top part could use a little bit different, but now I have something I can trace and say, boom, this is going to be where my hand is. So when you're looking at this, I'm going to have it like this. This is where my hand's going to go. You're going to drill, you're going to get a little small pole. You're going to drill a hole right through here. where that little pole, that little stick, his is thicker, yours is going to be a little bit smaller. But you can see the stick that's right here that goes through and threads through. I'm getting a raid! I'm getting a raid! A raid, raid, raid! Welcome, Leany, with the 13 viewers. Leany, how are you, my friend? Leany, thank you! Wow! Woo! We got ourselves a big raid. We got ourselves a big raid. Hello, hello, hello. Uncle Bloom is in the house. Uncle Bloom! That's me! How y'all doing? Milboxu, great to see you. Leany, always great to see you. Valkyrie, my friend, how you doing today? You all are amazing. Thank you so much. Hi, Uncle Bloom. Hello, Leany. How are you doing? Well, how about yourself? Let's do a shout out to you. Golly, I need to do shout outs more often when I get raids. I always forget about it. And I need to do better. You know? So, Leany was playing Monkey Island, if I remember correctly. I was in her channel. Just don't tell her I was in the channel. Because I was quiet. I was really, really quiet. Yes, Leany was playing Monkey Island. I was correct. Monkey Island 2. So if you have not given Leany a follow, please, please do so. Very good streamer. I always enjoy her stream. She also does Cozy Grove, if you like Cozy Grove. Really, really great. So if you have a chance, give them a follow. Leany, thank you so much. We're doing cosplay today. We're doing this today, Leany. We are actually creating this sword. Not the man, the sword. This is called Clint from the Tales of Vesperia. The sword is what we're creating. I was showing that we already have the handle piece, at least a good old template to where I can trace from. What I was also showing is someone has already created the cosplay themselves. Someone actually dressed up and did the sword, and it looks pretty cool. So, see if I can get a better close-up on that. I totally didn't hear Bloom say a circuit. So you can see someone's already done it. So, sword we're making, yes, exactly. But we're making it out of styrofoam so it won't hurt anybody. Styrofoam, piece of cake, really, really light. I have a 10-foot board right behind me. Normally that 10-foot board would cost $20 US, but you can't see it. There was a broken piece on it. So I went up to the hardware shop and I told the guy, look, it's broken. No one's going to buy it. And he says, I know, we normally throw that in the trash. I said, I'll tell you what. I have $8 in my wallet. Would you take $8 for it? He says, I'll ring you up at the register. So this big old monster piece board that cost about $20 because it had broken pieces on one corner and it couldn't sell because this is what they use to make new houses, this foaming board. He couldn't sell it. So $8 and I get this massive piece and I, as you can see, I took one of the pieces and started cutting it up. Milkbox is a new follower! Thank you for following. Oh yeah! Why am I not following? I don't know. But that's alright. You don't have to follow to enjoy me. I didn't mind anyone following me or not following. That's good. It is hot outside, so I am going to hydrate quite often, so excuse me. So, one of the things and to catch you up, to let you know, I have a ruler, a tape measure. I take the tape measure and I measure different points on the picture. Sorry, I have a fan on me. I'm outdoors. I do this all outdoors. And I measure different parts of the swords and I write it down so that way I can see how big each piece is. So when I'm measuring each piece, each area, so the sword part here, how long this is over here, I already measured it out. This is 8.5 inches all the way across, really closer to 9 from top to bottom, to be honest with you. I try and measure points from here to here to here to here to all the way across here. So when I go into this big monster board behind me, I get myself an idea of how much I want to extend it. So if it's 3 inches for that little handle that he's holding, I'm going to then turn it into three times that amount. So 9 inches. So everything is going to be triple in size. Triple. So when I see on the sword, on the piece of paper is 9 inches long from the handle at the bottom all the way to the top, I'm going to now make it 27 inches long, probably even longer than that, to be honest with you. Probably even longer than that. So a few feet. That's at least 2 feet sword. I'm going to actually make about a 5-foot sword, to be honest with you. So probably longer. So I turn around, I measure, and then I triple, sometimes quadruple the size of the measurement as I'm doing a trace drawing. The trace drawings are hard for me. They take time. I'm not an artist. I am not Devianshu, who can easily whip up a masterpiece in 2 seconds. So an example, what I was showing is I get the pencil, I use a pencil, and I start looking at the picture here, and I start trying to get an idea of how I create it. So I start like from point here, so this part here, I would go, okay, this looks like such. And if I get it wrong, I start erasing. Is this the first time you're making a sword? Yes and no. Yes and no. I made a scythe. You know what? Let me show you a finished creation that Shadow Wolf and I did together. Let me go grab that. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about the delay, folks. I am back. Sorry about that. Look at this bad boy right here. If you all have ever seen Ruby Rose, check this out. Ruby Rose's scythe from RWBY with a retractable blade. A blade that goes back and forth and stays in place. This was a long creation. It took. This thing weighs about not even a pound. Look how light this thing is. It's super, super light. Look how long this thing is. It's supposed to be a gun. Can't even scoot up to it. Yeah, there we go. It's supposed to be a gun. And there's another piece that I'm not showing you. I left it inside that still extends longer. So this thing, look at my height and look at how tall this thing is. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. Am I back far enough? Nope, I'm not. There we go. This gives you an idea. That's how tall it is, and we still have another piece that makes it extend to this high. So here's what I was talking about, the little piece that we're going to use for the handle. We're going to go drill a little hole like we did here. I put 2 pieces of foam together, and then I drilled it in and glued this into there so it'll hold. So I could do basically the same thing with this handle, or I can get a smaller piece of wood and then I can drill it in there, put some glue, have it stay in place, so you have your handle right here where you're grabbing with the sword in between like such to swing it. So this will be my sword, or my handle where I'm swinging back and forth on this new creation. So light as can be, retractable blade. You can see it's not the best of work. I do have some blemishes, some imperfections, but the great part is Shadow and I created this together. I did the cutting, he did the painting, and then together we did the gluing. Right here, I stuck a nail and tore off the head that was long enough to go through all these pieces, so it was a big nail. Then I glued the holes on each side, so now all of a sudden we have a tight fit here and a retractable blade. So this was tricky because these are all separate pieces here. So in order to hold this together, you can see where I made little U shapes, which you see on the picture. We have a situation where we're going to have to do that, the little clamp. You make little loose shapes out of the extra pieces, and probably can't see it too well, but there's a lot of dry glue that's right in there as well. So plenty of glue, plenty of detail that was put in. So that's what's going to happen with the sword right now. We have different layers. So you have the blade part, then you have another layer that goes on top of the blade. You have a handle area. So it's not much difference. You're just going to have to take time with it. The drawing is the most important part, because when I did this one here, you'll see these long pieces right here. This big piece here, this was taken from a picture. I measured it about 2 inches and I extended it and made it a lot longer and got it as close as I could to make it look like the picture that was there. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And then I got using imagination, like how can I make all these pieces work? You use extra pieces to clamp things together, to glue things together, to make it all go the way you want to. Then paint, in some cases like this, magic marker, permanent marker. So yes, I've never done this on stream before. This took me several weeks to do. The reason why it took me several weeks is because of working. That's a cool project to make with Shadow. Thank you, amazing, yes, thank you. Let me read the comments. I haven't been looking at any comments. All right, so that's awesome, thank you. Oh my God, I can't even, yes you can, and I'll show you. It's not hard. Amazing, that's a cool project to work with Shadow, thank you. Your dedication, I salute you, oh my God, yes. So we made everything. We made the cloak, we made the utility belt with the bullets. I got a piece of that stick that you saw that was part of that scythe there. I got another one and I just cut bullets and then whittle it down to make it look like a point, but round it, because comic book places don't let you in if you have anything sharp. So conventions will kick you out if you have a sharp. So I smoothed it over with sandpaper so you have the wooden bullets to make it look like a bullet. And she won several competitions. We'll just put it that way. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said she. I'm thinking my youngest. He won several competitions. And it's just pretty nice because we did it together. The reason why it takes so long is because, one, the drawing. Once you get the drawing down, the cutting is easy with a hot knife. With a hot knife, you can see the blade's already sticking out. Make sure you have a good sharp, hot knife. It will give you the nice clean cuts you need on styrofoam. And then once you get the styrofoam cut into the pieces you want, since this is going to be a sword, to me it's going to be a lot easier because it's going to be one long piece. This was multiple pieces. And because he wanted a real thick gun to make it look real, like a real gun, I had to make double of everything. I had to make it twice as thick. This blade here, it's not going to be that thick. It's going to be just one piece. Shouldn't be too bad at all. So let's try and figure out now how I'm going to get the camera to show you. I have a big ladder over here behind me that I'm going to try and put this camera to mount on so you can see the big old giant board as I try and start to draw. I won't be able to see your comments too closely, but you know, I will peek every moment that I can. So here's this styrofoam board, this monster styrofoam board that I can't even fit to the ceiling here. It's completely 10 feet tall. It's a huge buddy. You can get this from any hardware store. Ah, I hate the way that sounds. It has a plastic end and a non-plastic end. You're going to want to work on the non-plastic end on this side. The reason why you want to do that, because when you cut in with the hot knife, the plastic will start melting and it'll start throwing off your drawings. And plus also, with the pencil, if you have it on plastic, it will start tearing and sometimes causing issues with the pencil as you draw. Why do we want such a long piece? Such a big piece like this is so when you do draw, you have enough of the piece to get what you want. So you can see this easily fits. If you have other pieces like this laying around, you can use this going, hey, I already have a good idea of length from each one of these pieces here. So you can use it as a way of helping you move things along. So, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have the picture close by and then I'll angle it to where it's like such on my board. So where I say, okay, there's the sword. This is what it needs to look like. I'll keep it up over here. Let's get a closer view for you, if I can. So hopefully I'm not wiggling the camera too much. You can see right there, this is going to be the straight edge. So this gives me an idea right there towards the top, especially towards that little blade part where my finger is. The idea of the curves and stuff that go with it. So this whole handle thing, all the way through the blade, is going to be one piece. This piece in the back, that's going to be a separate piece. Not going to be too hard to do. Use the stick to go through and then hold the bottom piece. Not difficult. That's going to be the easiest part right here to do. This is the part that's going to get a little bit harder. Here's the extra little piece that we'll have to glue on. Same thing with that piece right there. We'll have to glue that piece on as well. That's the little U shape that I told you I have to create. We'll get that in a moment. And I may end up doing that as 3 separate pieces. This little U shape where my finger is, I'll probably end up doing that as 3 different pieces. Why 3 pieces? Is because it's going to be easier to glue that together. Sorry about that, folks. Here's the U on here, where I have the U shape. Well, if I have a clamp and I have piece number 1 right here, piece number 2 right here, and then a little piece to hold it together, there's my clamp. I have this thick, but you can always cut this in half. You can always thin it out, the piece, by turning around and smooth it down with the sandpaper or using your knife to cut it. So you can thin it out as much as you want. We're just going to have to play it by ear and see how it goes. So, if you want to follow along, go get your styrofoam. Now is the part where I'm going to have to turn my back and I'm going to have to start really concentrating on what I want as what. So I already like this as the handle. I already figured this is going to be beautiful for the handle. So let's get this like such. This bottom part's going to be my handle. So I'm liking this. And then it's going to curve on down that way. Give yourself enough room. We're going to have a flat piece up top because this is going to be the straight. This will be the part that you turn into a blade. So for now, let's give at least, and this is me working with it, so it'll take time. I'm penciling out the curve. I don't know if it's showing up too well on the camera or not. Probably too light. Let me see how I can fix that. I'll just bring it forward so you can see it. Hopefully I got enough light to let you see that. And probably not. Okay. So let's just trace it along closely with the camera. Is it showing? It's not showing at all, is it? Very, very little. Maybe too close to it. A little bit further out. You can see the light pencil drawing that I put there. It's bright enough for me to see, but maybe not bright enough for the camera to see. But there is a drawing right there that I've already made for myself to give you an idea where it's at. It's right there. So I've drawn at least the handle part. That to me is the easiest, and I may have to come further down. So right next to it, after I get to this part right here, there's where the handle goes down. We have another additional piece right here, so the handles come down. We have the clamp, so the clamp will be right in there, and then we indent a little bit, so we have the clamp, and then we come down, and then we have another curve like such. And again, I'm going to be having to do this over and over to where I get it to where I think it looks just like the drawing. But I'll keep the drawing close by so we can see this for myself. And then as I'm coming up like this, it's actually not going down, it's going upwards, it's thinning. So I made a mistake here. As it curves up, it's then all of a sudden going straight up like this to thin. And then it's starting to come down like such. All the way down. Alright. So right now, the way I'm holding it, starting from right here to right here, my arm length, sorry that it's not showing up too clearly, but right now I just drew the length of my sword. So that's coming out to be right now that's a 4-foot sword right there, which is really, really good. That's exactly what I'm wanting. I would like a 4-foot sword. I don't have the translation to centimeters, but you get the idea right now. I started here and I went down and said this is going to be a good stopping point for me. So again, as I continue to look at this, I have the handle from right here. So this part is curved. So I'm going to come over like such. That goes down, and so it's like this. And then it comes over, and then it goes straight up. Then there's a dention going upwards, and then coming through right across the handle, straight, all the way through the handle. Now when we get to the clamp, which is right around there, a little bit further to the clamp, clamp will go in. Now we're going to start coming upwards. That looks to be right around where this other sword starting to create and moving on up. And we have this little piece that comes back such, that goes back and down into here to meet up with that clamp. So I probably want to come this a little bit more this way to meet up with the clamp. So it's going to be like such. If you make a mistake, you cross out the mistake or you draw it somewhere else. So this is the top part. It's a little too thin. I'm going to have to make that thicker. Then you have another blade part. So from the handle here, so that's the handle, that comes in here, that clips on. You're going to have a circle of a blade right here below that goes like such, being wrapped up. Then this blade will come up like such, and it's going to go all the way down over there. So now you're starting to get the formation of the, I wish this was darker. Right now, I'm looking at the handle here, looking at the way the blade goes up. This needs to be like such. Probably a little bit thicker, we'll see. And then we have the inside curvature of the blade. This needs to be really pointy. So we have the overlap, right, and such. Then we have the blade coming down all the way. This part up here is tricky. So I'm going to use their interpretation right here on how they cut it off, because that's a little bit tricky for me. I'm not able to figure that one out yet. So they did an interpretation of slant it down like I did right there, and then a curve at the blade part. So in this part here, it'd be a curve inwards like such. And then we come back and we join it up. So far, let me look at the picture, see how it's coming along to my standards. So there's like that. There's actually a point piece right there, which I have done. And then it curves back in and meets up right below, and then gets wrapped up, and it gets it like that. So it's looking like it's a pretty standard piece. Right now, it's so wide and it's so unformed. That's okay, because when you start cutting it, you can have pieces that are too wide in some point. You want to probably have it too wide on purpose. You want to have it too wide because you're going to turn around and you can trim it more. If you have it too thin, you can't do anything with it. If you have it too wide, you can always make it smaller. So this looks like a good idea at the moment of how wide I want it to be. Let me look at the picture here that they did. So compared to our arm, it's about like 2 of our arms together. So mine 1, 2, that's about a good thickness. That's actually a good thickness. But right here, when I get here, my 2 arms get too small. So I'm going to have to fatten that up a little bit. It does start thinning down when you get to the end of the sword. It's really fat here, and then it goes lower, 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 lower as you look at the original picture. So really fat here, and then it starts slimming down until we get to the end. Hopefully you can see that. So really fat up top, and then it starts slimming down. And then again, this is all interpretation. Gosh, I do miss anime and comic conventions. I don't cosplays, but I love taking pictures of cosplay players. Yeah, I love it too. And my child was adamant, Shadow and Phelan were adamant, like, I want to cosplay. I actually want to do something. So it was fate. I was at the hardware store looking for materials, and I was talking to the person that was helping me out for ideas, and someone's like, use styrofoam. I'm like, styrofoam? This stuff here? And she said, yeah. When we are doing plays, she says, I do plays for local high schools. When we ever need weight sets where they're going, I'm lifting a massive weight, it's styrofoam. They paint it, they make it look good. So when people are going, curl, they're curling 2 ounces. And they're just going, oh, this is so heavy. And in reality, it doesn't weigh an ounce. You can hold it on your pinky, go, ha ha ha, look how strong I am. Especially when they were, and the reason why she was doing it like that is because they were doing a play about Hercules. So they needed big old boulders that they can pick up where anybody could pick it up. So, you know? Hey, Looney. It's so nice that they got you to share that interest with them. My parents would always think me going to anime conventions are ridiculous. Some parents don't get it. My wife, Mrs. Bloom, she enjoys it, but she won't go. She's like, you know what? That's your all's thing. Have fun. Looney, I'm building a sword showing you what I have already created in the past. That's what we're doing today. So right now I got at least an idea. I want this to be thicker here. Again, I can always thin things out. So I may, yeah, I'm gonna exaggerate some of the pieces. I'm definitely gonna exaggerate some of the pieces. Bloom is getting to take over the world. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. But I'm gonna get my pencil. I'm not good with art. I'm not good with art at all. So my drawings look like stick figures, but I work on it too, and that's why it takes so long. So at least today, my goal is to get to the cutting of this to where we have at least a base understanding. So this part here, I want this to be thicker. So that's going to be the straight line. Okay, that's going to be good. I like that curve here. I actually want this to come out to be a point straight, and then the curve over here. Have that curve back, but I want it to curve less. So, again, adding the thickness. I actually do want it to meet over here. So that's giving me about the same length. And now, if you're really a perfectionist, get your tape measure, get your ruler, get whatever you need, and start looking. Okay, there's 7 inches here. There's 7 inches here. There's 8 inches here. And then there's 9 inches over here. So it's showing you're going in the right direction where your measurements are getting where you want it to be. So if you make a mistake and you're saying, I don't want this particular part, erase it. Just get your eraser and say, I don't want this part. Pencil erases. That's what the nice thing about it is. So you don't cut the wrong piece. If you can't get the pencil to erase, just put little X's by it. Where you're going, X, X, X. That tells you, I don't want this. This was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. So this, I'm wondering if it comes down to like a pyramid on the top. I'm wondering. I see their interpretation. The nice thing is you can do any interpretation you want. You can make it how you think it is. So they have it like such. So the way I have it currently handled is like there. So I have it reversed. So I'm going to go look at it like this. Okay. So they have it like such, and that's the way I have it. The tip comes over, and then they curve back a little bit. I'm not going to go as exaggerated as theirs. All right. So we're going to move on to the cutting part now, and this is where it's going to be. I'm pretty sure I can't attack people with a tape measure. Well, you can't attack people with styrofoam either. It's too light. So right here, just like I said, I'm holding it with my pinky. It's so light that I can hold it with my pinky. It's a piece of cake. It's a feather. It's really, really feather-like. So when you're lifting weights in place, you're going, ah! You're lifting nothing. You're lifting nothing at all. Show you how light this thing is. Look, my little pinky is holding up this whole thing on the tip of my pinky. It's not heavy. That's why you use styrofoam. Styrofoam is so adaptive. It is so easy to work with. So that's what we're doing. Juice, morning BB80. How are you? Wow, you're strong, so strong. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am working. We're doing cosplay today, Juice. We're doing Clint's sword from Tales of Vesperia. Clint's sword looks. Sorry, I have a fan blowing everything. Looks like this. And so right now you can't see because the pencil is too light, but this whole area right here where my hand is going across has pencil markings where I'm going to cut out to make a 4-foot sword like that. Then we're going to start whittling it down and making it into what looks like a real sword. RWBY is called Ruby. She has a scythe. So I created a scythe with a retractable blade. As you can see the blade right there, holds up and goes back in. So this is all, like I was telling everybody, light as a feather. One little pinky. And I'm going, yeah, this thing is so heavy. My pinky's so strong. This whole scythe weighs about not even a pound, half a pound probably, a few ounces. This big massive thing that is as tall as I am. Because I'm missing a piece. I don't have the piece, the other piece that extends it up, it'll go up this high right here. So, hydrate is absolutely will be taken. Let me refill, be right back. All right, I got the hydrate refilling. Thank you for the hydrate. Next part. A heated knife. I have a trusty piece that you can see is all corroded and burnt and messed up. And the brand new one I have yet to use. So this is my favorite. It's done a ton of work for me. I shall head off to sleep soon, Uncle Bloom. But thank you for the wonderful stream. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in and the follow. Wishing you all the best with your cosplay creation. I'll be on lurk. Thank you. I hope you have a great rest. Appreciate you coming in with Leanie's raid. You are amazing. Thank you again for the follow. I appreciate that. You have, like I said, a great rest. So this knife here, this heated knife, mine has an on-off switch, so it's good stuff. I unfortunately don't have a long enough cord, so I always use an extension cord, a heavy-duty extension cord, in order to work with it. The other thing is, when you're working with a hot knife, you don't want it to where it's a wobbly area, because you got to keep your hand steady. It's like scalpel. You know, you want to cut and carve things. So if I'm here pushing on it, everything's going to move and I'm going to poke right through and it's going to cause misery. So, lay it flat. In my case, I'm going to lay it flat on the table behind me and I'm going to turn the, get that surgical precision, exactly. Dr. Boone. So the table that my computer's resting on is going to be my operating table. And it's going to be a lot harder than I want it to be. So I may actually have to do a different, I may have to actually lay it flat on the ground. And if that's the case, I'm going to tilt the camera, try and get you a good view. Let's see if the width, let me eyeball it. Yeah, the width is good. Let me get this chair out of the way. We're going to put this on the ground, folks. There we go. Yes, that's going to work out perfectly. I do need to get the extension cord, so let me go do that. Because that will not be long enough, not even close. So I need to get to where it will stretch all the way over here. So be right back. Go in the garage. Alright, so I have a trusty one that I already have set up ready to go. I use this one all the time. So we're going to plug this into my plug here. I'm going to unwind it. great thing about this styrofoam board here is that you can step on it. It's not going to break. I put on the plug. I have the knife. I've turned it on. Make sure it is on the on switch. Let's see if I can get that camera to capture what I'm doing. Alright, it's showing the board. Actually, may just bring it down to the ground and let you see it like this. Now you're going to see a smooth surface. See a dog. I think she's camera shy. She didn't want to show her face. Show your face. Okay, she's running off now. Okay, so this is where I'm going to start. The cut is right over there. It's towards that area. The knife is getting really, really hot. You never, ever, ever want to touch your fingers there. Any part of this metal here, you're going to burn yourself. That's why you have your hand right here. Never want to touch the metal. See if that's even showing up. All right, so never touch this part here, the blade or any of that metal. Always hold the black part. Nothing else. Okay? Bark, bark, bark. Yep. All right. So the nice thing is I have plenty of foam. If I don't like it, I can do it all over again and use the other for pieces. I'm going to double check my drawing to see if this is what I want. That's going to be the top part. That's going to be angled to the bottom. So that's going to be the thickness I want. That's going to cut into here. Okay. So I'm double checking my work to see, hey, I think that's going to be good. Let me come over and start putting this in. Can't get this to come any further, can I? Let me turn this around the other way. Set this down. When you set it down, set down this blade on an area that can't get burnt. That's going to be much better. Much, much better. You can actually see the incision. Okay. So right here, I wish I had an overhead view. I wish I had a big old camera that would let me extend it and you could see from the head down. I can't hold the camera meanwhile to do that. So I'm going to put the blade in. You'll see that it has a little sharp part right in here. So push that in. It goes in real easily. It stinks because you're melting it. I'm going all the way down because I want to go all the way through. And I'm slowly moving the knife across. You may not be able to hear that on camera. Or on stream is what I meant. May not even be able to see the cut, but right there, there's the first cut. Hopefully it'll show up. I'm not sure if it'll show up or not. Yep, you can see it. Good. So, let's see. Let me turn the picture down here so I can see it without any issues. First cut, woo, yep. Again, this is probably going to be a little bit fatter than what I had originally planned. That's done on purpose. The curve for me is the hardest part, which is what I'm about to get to right now. What I a lot of times do is I'll start further up on the curve to come down. Again, go slowly and meet up with the mark that you want. You can go a little bit further on the cut when you're at an end piece. way down, where I'm feeling the ground being cut. Slowly but surely. Okay. What's this? Doing cosplay. I don't have any sound effects on stage-wise. We're doing. We're building Clint's sword from Tales of Vesperia. We're making it right now as we speak. There's the sword, kinda. I know it's not showing up too well on camera, but that's the sword we're making. And I'm right now in the cutting phase. That's what we're doing at the moment. Sorry, I don't have any sound effects in my ears today. I'm drinking water. Sorry about that. I'm sweating like a dog. Rig, sorry man, sorry. You mean making cosplay? Yeah, I am making cosplay. I'm building a sword as we speak. Maybe not very well, because I can see I need to go a lot further on some of these cuts here. But I'm in the process of making it, yes. Since I don't like this being so short, I'm going to come out a lot further and exaggerate. Then try and meet up with the curve like such, coming this way. So see how I curved upwards? We're going to still do the curve. And this is the blade I'm cutting out. As your knife gets too cool, wait a moment, let it heat back up, and continue the cut. Hope I'm catching all this on camera. I can't really see too well. Nice, heat it up again. Hello, Shadow.
Where's Chrissy? Oh, no, she's hey. Hit the wrong button on your computer.
That's not a problem. Yes, it does hurt my ears, all that noise. I don't know if you can hear it. That's not an issue. All right.
Dad,
Yeah.
what is better, 6-piece nuggets or medium fry?
6 piece probably. Look at the price difference between the two. All right, so we're gonna do the curve of the blade. This to me is the easy part because it's the long blade part. Sorry if it's not coming up. Sorry if I'm missing your chats. Yep, we see you. Okay, good, good. All right, so that is not very straight to my liking, so I'm going to straighten that out some. That's going to be a straight edge. All right, so how did this go? Now this thing's hot. Push this down as such and it come down. I'm missing the lines, which is fine. I'm going wider because I'm trying to gain an idea based on the other width here. extremely hot. Sage-wise, what is the temperature right now in our lovely love city? Because it is absolutely nightmarishly hot right now for me. Alright, so this is gonna, let me check one thing. So it's gonna curve in like such. Does it attach? Be careful, dog. Hey, don't come, go around, go around. Thank you. Go. Right, so when we come into the cut here, it's actually just rounded like such through here. So it's curved in like a circle. So we're gonna come over it like a circle. There's the inside, and this is going to be going to the outside, and it's going to be a curve up into inside. It's going to curve in, so it will come like such. I will do a lot of talking to myself because I'm trying to explain to myself what I'm attempting to do, so I can know how to cut. And then it curves back out like such, like a moon, and it comes back and it meets way over here. The original cut. Alright. If everything is the way I think it is, we just cut out the sword. It's going to need some tinkering. There's going to be some parts I'm going to have to thin out. But it looks like we got the sword. The area says feels like 92, but it feels like 106. Yeah, it does feel like 106. It is extremely hot today, folks. That's why a lot of times I do cosplay late at night, because there's no sun. But today, I want to do this on stream. So, now let's bring the camera back up. Get my lovely feet. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera. But now, let's see if I can give a little better close-up on that. Right here, you can see light coming through. You're going to gently poke on the board. You're going to push it through the plastic side. Gently, so you keep your pieces together. You still have your knife turned on, so in the event that you have a piece, turn off plastic on the other side. There we go. If you have a piece that you need to still cut a little bit deeper, you're not damaging it. But it looks like it did pretty good on cutting all the way through. Except for maybe right there. I'm gonna have to get the knife if that's still stuck, unless I can work it through. There, I worked it through. Good, good. This is gonna be tricky as a small, fine piece. You don't want to mess up that small, fine piece. You need to use your knife. Use your knife. Go slowly on this fine piece right here. Go slowly, right where my finger is. These little fine pieces are the parts that you got to go real slow on, because if you damage it, you're gonna have to glue it and try and cover it up. And this did not go all the way through. I can see that. Trying to work it through with my fingernail. Yes, got it to come through. Be real careful when you're separating this. If you have a projector, you can project and get this to a bigger printout, a bigger showing, where you can draw it. There we go. Now all of a sudden, you got yourself a pretty nifty looking sword, huh? Let's turn that where you can see it a little bit more further up. It's almost 5 feet tall. Almost. I thought it's going to be about 4 feet in length. That's pretty darn close to it. So there you go. There's the sword that we're working with right now. Doesn't look like much at the moment. That's where we start painting things and we start putting things together, you know? But let's get a paper. Sorry that I'm knocking the camera around. I apologize about that. So the paper shows it to be like such. I have it reversed, of course. But you see the little... Well, so let's fix it the same way as the picture so you can see it. I'm not even showing it on camera very well. So this is the direction of the picture. Let's see, am I showing that all right? Yeah, I'm showing that all right. So you can see the little overlap right there where his hands are. So his hand's going to be right in here where my fingers are dangling. This is where his hand's going to be. We're going to put a little piece of wood in between here so he has a place to grab and hold on to. You can see the little overlapping of the blades right here where my other finger is going through on the top. So that's what it's looking like so far when it comes down to the blades. So right now it's, like I said, weighs, it doesn't even weigh an ounce. Probably weighs an ounce if anything. So it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like a sword yet because we haven't put any paint. But you can see, I can already see some imperfections I want to work on. And you can see when the cut was here, it's not as even as I want. So you can use the hot knife, you can cut this and make it a lot smoother, a lot more round, you know, shaped the way you want to. So this is the time you can either do that or you can wait until you move further in. So if you're like me and you want to take care of it now, you turn around and you look and you say, okay, where's my imperfections? Right here. And then you just slowly use the knife to cut off pieces, to smooth it out. All you're doing is just melting it. If you can see that, it's probably too much light. I wish I had an indoor. All I'm doing is using the blade, not cutting it, and melting it down to smooth it. There's a little lump here that I want to get rid of also. So be very careful when you're doing this. There we go. It's getting where I want. Now I got a little bit more lump here that I want to smooth out. So you can't really see it too much. I can see it. I'm trying to smooth it out to where it feels like a good curve, not too fat in any areas. That's getting more of what I like to see. Again, no one's judging this by imperfections. All right. What's your thoughts so far? I'd love to see what your comments are. This is what the blade's looking like so far. What you do now with the rest of this is you start, I already have a little broken piece right here. If you have a little broken piece that has not detached, you can see I broke a little piece when I was trying to separate it out, but it's still attached on the other side. you quickly want to get glue and put it in together. Okay? Let me hydrate. Soybean is here! Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. You can see the shape that it was that I just put out of the big old styrofoam board. I need to go hunt some glue down and glue that little piece in just a second. I don't have the glue outside because I wasn't planning to do glue today. So yes, Soybean, there's your sword so far. This idea came from Soybean's stream. I love that sword, and so I wanted to create it and told Soybean all about it. So you can see what it looks like there to get an idea, and then look at the cutout that's behind me. There's that little overlap. There's some of the pieces. So we're getting there. I still have to buy the handle, the little small stick that I'm going to use to put in between. I may end up just gluing it because it's not so thick. The piece that needs to go in here, right there, was where the stick will go. Is go through here. I already have a broken piece right there. So what I may end up doing is I may go a little bit further down, drill a hole right through there, use a very small stick as the handle just to go through, and then glue right here on the inside a thicker stick. So it's going to be just to hold it together, and then the smaller stick behind it, but a little bit thicker so you can have a good handle right here. We'll wrap it in the little ribbon that is showing on there, which you can get at any kind of place that sells materials like cloths and stuff like that. So we'll wrap up the whole stick. So that stick part's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'll figure it out and we'll do it together on stream. So yes. So right now, this is going to be, when I get the handle on here, the handle will be like such. This will be me holding the sword like this, or like this. The blade parts still needs lots of work, but you get an idea. And I have it upside down, don't I? I absolutely do. This is supposed to be like this. Don't I have it upside down? I gotta look because I don't remember. Alright, so he's holding it like such. Yes. So my hand will be right here. Now I'm holding it correctly. My hand will be here. This is going to be the top part of the blade. This part is going to be the bottom part. It's pretty good replica scale. Pretty good size. Thoughts, Soybean? Because I'm doing this. What do you think of it so far, Soybean? That's great. Okay. So the next part, and this is going to be a lot easier. I have the spare piece, this little small piece right here. We're going to start cutting out, making this brown piece right here. Hopefully you can see it. Let me get a lot closer. This brown piece right here where it looks like a little bridge, where it's going round, round, round all the way across there. Hopefully I'm getting it and it's not too high. Yeah, I can see it on camera. Good. That part's we're going to cut out next. We glue that. So one of the things that we have to do first, before we get to any kind of gluing, other than the little piece that is broke, is you need to start getting all the pieces that go together. Once you have all the pieces together, paint everything. You don't want to glue before you paint, because what's going to end up happening is you'll have parts that you can't get into the grooves. And so if you can't get into the grooves when it's glued together, what's going to end up happening is people are going to say, oh, well, there's imperfections here and there. There's no way of seeing how we can see where you made a mistake. But if you paint both sides of every piece, when you finally glue it together, there is no imperfection. There's no oops, you missed a painting spot here or there. So you always want to cut out the pieces, paint them, and then glue them together. So this goes for the entire part of the blade. So this is going to be your measuring tool. Now you already know how long it needs to be. It needs to be from here to here, according to the picture. So get the piece. I'm going to put it down on the ground. I don't have a long enough piece on that. So we can use this big board over here, just to show you. Pull the camera down here. It's supposed to go pretty much to the end. And as you can see here on the blades, I don't have enough to go as far back as I want it to go as far back over here, and you want one piece to go through. I could just turn around and shorten it, but I could also cut a piece and then glue it together and try and make it splice together, but it'll show up, and I don't want that, especially since I have this big giant piece behind me that I can easily cut more off of. So next part is to try and figure out exactly how it's a straight line. That's going to be good. So it's a straight line, so it'll go straight across, and then you have the little humps, the little bridges that go across. So whenever I have a straight line, I usually try to use the top, an edge, somewhere where it's already showing straight. Now it covers about 1/4 of the sword, so when it has it towards the blade top, so let's get this looking the right way. This is like such. It's going to go from here all the way across, and it covers about that much. So maybe a little bit less. So when I come over here and I put my fingers to the other side here, this little piece going across, we just cut out. There's the end here. This little piece is going to be perfect, because you can see this bottom part here, and this where it goes. This little piece, this little cutout, all the way across, I think would be exactly what we're looking for. So let me get my pencil and mark where I want to stop, which is right here. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go a little bit longer, because I can always shorten it. If it's too short, I can't make it longer without really making it look bad. All right, so there's that, and then it goes all the way to over here. All right, so I got the piece I want. Let's put your sword back over here for a moment. Let's get that hot knife, and we're going to do something just real quick and easy. We're just going to cut out this whole piece here. Yeah, we're just going to get this and take it apart from here. So I'm going to go through with my hot knife, which is turned off because I wasn't using it. Let that heat up for a minute. We're going to get the hot knife, and we're just going to cut off this piece from here to here. We're not going to... We'll cut out the little parts that we need to make it look good all the way through here in a moment, but this will be a good spare piece to use. Should be hot now, because this thing heats up quickly. Yep, there it goes. Normally I would set this on the ground, but I'm just cutting out a spare piece. Alright, so I have the piece. Quick, easy. Turn the knife off. I'm not going to use it for a moment. Now, with my pencil, I'm going to start doing those little loops. the furthest loop down is going to be this thickness right here. That's going to be the furthest. So I already know that this is the smallest point of the cut right here. This. Thanks for the lurk. I appreciate it. You take care of yourself. Bye, Juice. Take it easy, my friend. By the way, I hope you had a great birthday. I know that you had a birthday very recently, so I hope it was great. So yes, this is going to be the... take care, my friend. So this will be, when I'm doing that little circles, this will be the lowest point right here. And then I'll come up and just loop around and loop around and loop around. So easy, not easy, but it's just something I'm going to have to do by eye. So I have a straight line, which is right here across. This is already cut straight for me, so it makes it easy for myself. And then it doesn't matter which side I'm on. I have plastic that's on this side. I usually go on the side without plastic. There's plastic, you can't probably see it right here. That's there, and there's no plastic on this side. I try and stick on the side without plastic. So get that spare piece out of the way. I'm gonna put this on the ground. You can see me as I try to draw. My drawings are not very good, so please bear with me. I usually have the photo real close by me, so I can get an idea of what I'm looking at. And I try and keep it in the same direction. So that's a straight piece, and it actually does kind of curve, which is fine, because it's curving with the blade, which I can show you how to fix that when we get to that part, just by doing some melting and some little cuts. But we can easily do that. All right, so we have the straight line here that I was talking about, and then it comes up just a hair, which would be here, and then it curves in like such. May not be able to see that, which is fine. You'll see when I cut. Straight and then back into the curve. So I'm gonna do myself a favor. I don't think I got the curve down enough. So I'm gonna do myself a little favor. I'm gonna use my measuring tool to give me a straight line right across the part that I don't want to go below. So I give myself an actual points. What I'm going to do is put little markers along here, that several points that allow me to say to myself, this is how high your curve needs to be. Any higher than this and you've gone too far. So I'm putting little dots in many different areas that tells me this is as high as I can go. So it'll be even all across this particular cut. So let's tighten that. Let's get that straight. There we go. That's even. That's even. That's even. Put mark here. Mark there. Mark there. Another one over here. And then it's going to keep on putting little marks. So as I do my little curves, I don't know if they'll show up too well, but as I do my little curves, as I draw them, I'm going to get to that dot. So when I'm curving down and curving back up, I never want to go any higher than that dot when I'm going that little straight line and such. Hopefully that's showing up. So I do a curve to here, curve to there. I just keep doing curves. Now the other thing that I want to figure out is how much I want my curves to be, how deep down, how thick do I want this. So the further down I go on the curve, then I again put more points, so I'm almost kind of like doing connected dots. If you want, you can draw a straight line too, and you can just cut it when you want. Either way. So I like this indentation right here, the way I've done it. I think that's a good enough definition. But that's the end of it. That's when it comes down and meets here. So this is a half curve. I need the full curve now. And I don't want to make it too big, but I don't want to make it too small. So this half curve, I have at 2.5 inches. So full curve probably should be 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and from this little part here, make this, how big is this? Let's make this a 1-inch bridge to hold it together, 1 inch. And then 5 inches to the next little bridge. So right here, and then this is as how far down as I can go, is right through here at the 2.5 mark, because 2.5 and 2.5 is 5. So that's the furthest down right there. Okay, so I give myself little markers so we can make this even. Hopefully this is showing up my camera. I have the little bridge that's 1 inch here, that's 2.5 here. Then I'm going to connect, I'm going to go round to connect this dot and then back round up here to meet up right there at this little dot and do another 1 inch little thing. And I'll continue to do that until I get to the end of the board right over here. Hopefully that's showing up on stream. And hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Alright, so it doesn't have to be perfect. This is all going to be freehand by me. If it doesn't curve enough, then just redo it and erase. If you really want it perfect, which I don't, I like imperfections. I like it where people know that it was done by hand. If you don't like it, erase it. If you want to go deeper, make it deeper. I think this is going to be good for what I want to do, especially the length. And then if you want to, if you don't, how can I say, if you want to get a device, something that's already pre-cut, that has a nice good curve, use it. Use the tools you need. I like doing it freehand. That's just my personal preference. I like doing it freehand, and I like doing measurements so I can know that it's pretty evenly built. I go by inches. I know that several of y'all go by millimeters. Use your best judgment. So I'm going to be making another mark as to where I want to stop. Actually, let's go from the 10. And I want it 5 inches, so I want it to be right here to the 5. This is where I'll stop. This is my even point over here. So at the 2.5 mark. So let's get that right. Yeah, let's get that right. Line that up. So this is the bottom part. This is where the bottom goes, right in there. So at the 2.5, so 5, 6, 7, half. There's the bottom part. So this is a slow process for me. And I'm just going to continue to do the 1 inch marks as I come to them to make it easier for me to move forward. And go at your own pace. There's no rush to get this done for anyone. I really wish I had an overhead camera. It'd be so much easier to show you all what I'm doing. There's that middle point. Starts up here. Then I go 5 inches across to the next one over here. Here's the 10. Go to the 5. 5 to the 4 right here. 1 inch. Then from the 10 Thank you, Survey. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'm not all about just sitting here and talking and not answering questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions. If you have them, let me know them. I'll be glad to comment. Okay, there we go on that. Let's make this shorter, make it a little easier on me. Alright, so 10 to the 5 again. This actually needs to line up with the rest. This is not lining up, so let's get that corrected. Alright, there we go. That is beautiful. It's lining up there. Straight line. Good, good, good. That's straight also. That's the 10. With a 5 over here. 5 to the 4. Which is the end of the map. So, okay, so I have all my points of where I want to go across there. Now I need to go on the points on the bottom to make sure that I keep it straight as I necessarily need it. It's there, there, there. That point's there. Okay, so good. We got this to the 24 to the 25. So 25, make it a little easier for me to figure out. 5 to the 0. The 2.5 will be right down there below. Let's get this scooched down. So 2.5 right here. And then from this one, this part's a little bit boring. I apologize about that. It's just measurements. .5 right there. Keep that straight. Keep it about the same inches from the top. Over there, that's about 15, and it's the 10. So this will be 2.5 would be 10, 12.5 right here. Then scoot this down a little bit. Keep it the same height. This is the 10 mark right there. It's 10, 7.5, which would be right there. So there's my marks. Okay, I got all my marks down. Oh, Seven Giggle, hello, how are you doing? Sorry that I am not acknowledging chat as often as I should. I hope you're well. We're working on cosplay, Seven Giggle. We're creating. And now that I have all my measurements, we're going to just start freehand drawing. Want a smooth circle? Get a protractor. Because I don't do smooth semicircles. I get the idea of where they need to go. So now we have all the semicircles that we need for that blade all the way across, so we can have it look like such. All that there. Hopefully that shows up on camera. So now we're going to cut. Get that nice red hot blade and cut again. Oh my goodness. Melting in this horrible heat. You ain't kidding. Does your wife do any cosplays as well? No, she does not. She doesn't like it, but the two kids, Phelan and Shadow, they do. No, foot cam. You can see my feet. My ugly feet. I am going to hydrate. But no, she doesn't do any cosplay at all. It's not her thing, and that's okay. She lets us do our thing and she's good with it. Okay. Hot knife. It's not going to be perfect. I can already see it just looking from the top here. It's not going to be perfect. But that's okay. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to have fun. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm enjoying myself. I really enjoy doing this. Do I have it on? No, I have it turned off. Good. After a while, it shuts off. And so I gotta let it reheat. But yes, it feels like 109 here, Giggle. 109 degrees, which is really, really hot in the United States. What is that, 35 centigrade? 36?
Where's my keys?
I don't know. Why?
I want my stuff.
Don't worry, everything's on foot cam.
Well, I mean, that's the worst part of me right now.
I'll be right back. No worries, Soybean. Take your time. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the piece off that I need. The other thing is, if you want to stay true to form, I think, yeah. So this piece I'm cutting right here, this piece here, I'm going to need 2 of them. The reason why I need 2 of them is because the sword is double-sided. So when I get this all cut out nice and neat, I'll take another piece and I'll just trace it right back over in this one. Do I have this one long enough? Yes! This is the perfect length. Haha, beautiful. Okay, so I took it off camera, but there's a piece that, a top part of that foam that's going to be a perfect size to fit this entire thing to do another replica of this piece. So you have 2 pieces. 31C here, just as hot here. Jesus, that's hot. Yes, so when I do cosplay building, I do it usually really early in the morning or really late at night. But I want to show this on stream for you all, so that's why I'm doing it. Hi. For you all to see. Hot knife. Yeah, it's definitely hot. It's already cutting. Go slowly, like I've been telling you all. Slowly. I don't like the sound, but it's the way it works. This is the way it works cutting styrofoam. If your blade gets dull, get another blade. So far, see the cuts? I gotta wait for camera to catch up. We don't have AC, oh my god. I have a fan. I feel for you. No AC, that's torture. That is absolute torture.
Ankle.
I know. I'll take you to the walk-in after I do this.
How long do you think? Just so I know how long.
20 minutes at most.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to cut these 2 pieces, show you what it looks like, and then I'm gonna have to end stream. Looks like we have an injury that I need to take care of. So let's get this cut. Wow. Can you just do a continuous cut? Yes. I tend not to. Yes, you can. If you're talented enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm trying. Alright, all pieces are cut. I'm turning off the blade so it can rest for a moment. See all the pieces? Oh goodness. Let's take you off my feet so you can see me now. Hello, how are you? Go ahead. You can see the cut and Shadow, or you saw Shadow. Shadow went to go get food. Let's get this thing further up. Alright, so I don't have to bend. Sorry about my hands in the way. Let's fix this. I'm back. Oh no, an injury, yeah. It's Shadow! Hi, Shadow. Yes. So now you can see the cuts have been made. Slowly pop it out of place. They're saying hi. Soybean says hi.
Hello, Soybean.
I don't know if you can.
Right.
The camera's right there, and now way over there. There.
Hello,
Just
Soybean.
watch. Don't touch that blade.
I'm not touching it.
It will hurt. All right.
Oh, I
So
said I'm barefoot.
first of all, it'll cut, and the other thing, it'll burn. So I didn't get the cut all the way
I had
through.
glass in my foot. I know it's gonna hurt worse than that.
I got some plastic that I'm gonna have to deal with on this side. You can see I'm gonna have to peel off some of this plastic. If I don't get that plastic off, it's going to probably catch, causing this to possibly break or give me more headache than I want. I can already see some pieces that are not cut all the way through. I'll use the knife if I need to. Let's see if I can just break it through carefully. Remember, you're going to need 2 of these pieces, identical. So when you get this one done, you're going to trace it over to another piece. Just a cut that didn't go all the way through. Got it? Be very gentle with cutting. If you need to, with pulling this apart, if you need to just wiggle it slightly, wiggle it. If not, get the knife and cut through it. I'm not going to tell you this one, I'm going to need it. Right there, it's stuck. I can see where it's stuck. There it goes. Another piece right there. There, that went through now. And there we go. We got it. Now you have pieces that you need. So, let's grab the sword. Let's not land on the knife. Let's grab the sword. Let's put this up to the sword. Okay? Thank you. Appreciate you liking it. Alright, so it goes to the top part. It goes like such. It's a little too long. I did it too long on purpose because I can always cut it down a little bit. But this is the way it's going to look like on the sword. You can see. Now I'm going to have to add a little curve to make this work, which I can easily do by just doing a cut like such. See my fingernail maybe narking it. Slimming it down just a bit. Not much. And I don't have to go to the very tip. But now you can see an idea of what the sword is starting to look like. Hopefully, let me just get a little closer look. There we go. It's pretty cool, huh? Hey, Buddha, how are you doing today, Buddha? Redeem hydrate. Thank you. I do need the hydrate. Drowsy and stay waking up. How are you? Soybean had a late night last night. I fell asleep. So I don't remember how long soybean went. I fell asleep.
2319.
2319 for what? Huh?
Slushy. My red slushy. Filled with my blanket. It dripped from the bag. That was all over my blanket.
It's on the blanket, not the car.
I think it's on the car.
Go look. See, every time I stream, this crisis after crisis after crisis. I streamed until about 10:30 or so, then raided into a channel. Oh, okay. I was 10:30 is 12:30 for me. Just FYI, chat. So, okay,
They put the slushy was in one bag and then they put it in the main bag.
that's fine. So there's two ways I can go about this to make it work. Okay? I can curve this piece here to get it to more fit towards the top, which means it makes the width of this get smaller. That's not an issue. Or, the other thing I could do is I can cut this part off the blade. This part right here can just go bye-bye. And I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. I'm going to probably get this piece right here, right there, and I'm just going to slice that completely off. And that way it looks more like it's together with the blade. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm not going to slice that off. That's going to be the silver blade part. I'm not going to slice that off. Look at the picture here, folks. There's the silver blade part, which is the over part right here. So if you can look closely, hopefully I can show it on the camera. There's the silver, which would be this part right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me move the picture out of the way. So I'm not going to cut that. Yeah, there you go. That looks better. So that's going to be the blade part right there. This part right here is going to be the blade. So I'm not going to cut that away. If anything, I'm going to curve this part off right here. I'm going to cut a little bit. But that's what we will do after we start painting. We'll get it all painted. Then we'll look at it and say what part needs to come down. We'll just cut this piece here like such, right in there, and cut this little edge off, and it'll be on both sides, because this is already too long on this edge as it is. Remember, you can always go too long, which is fine. The whole purpose of going longer is because if you make a mistake or you need to do a little cut or curvature, you have the extra length to do it. If you make it too short, then you have to glue pieces together and it looks sloppy. So I'm trying to teach you the best way. So this sword is supposed to be double-sided. So now you want this exact same piece done again, but now you already have a template. So now you're going to go over here, cut this one piece out of this other stuff behind me. We're going to cut another piece here, from here. Voila. It's a little bit short. I mean, by the hairest of hairs, but I'm already going to cut off this piece anyway, so that works. So you can see, I have another place. Now all I do is just get over here with a pencil, trace it up, then I'll have both pieces. I'll have both pieces that I need to glue on the side of the board. So I'm going to get this one more piece cut so I can have it double-sided. Then I'm going to glue this little piece that I told it I already tore. And then we will stop stream there because I got to go take Phelan to go see a doctor because she hurt her foot. Then the next stream, hopefully tomorrow during my lunch streams, it's going to be just me talking and painting. You get a paintbrush, you get paint, no spray paint, no spray paint. It will eat the styrofoam. It'll make a big old hole. So paintbrush, paint, we'll paint all sides of this brown. We'll paint the whole sword black, the entire sword black. Then we will, on top of it, we'll put the blade We'll start adding in the silver as we
One on the
on the carpet. Go to mom's room, closet, bottom red bottle. It's called Resolve. All right, sorry. Disaster after disaster, what it is like. So thanks for part 1 of Creation Stream. Absolutely. So let me cut out one more piece for you all. Then, and you're absolutely welcome. Then tomorrow, during the lunchtime stream, I'll start painting these. And the problem with, the reason why this, a creation like this, so I mean, you may not have seen this, but a creation like this took me almost an entire week is because here's the retractable blade that you haven't seen. There's the retractable blade that holds up. RWBY. RWBY. This is her weapon. There's one more piece that goes to the floor that makes it stand this tall. I kid you not. Right now, without that other piece, it's about 5 feet tall. Pretty cool, huh? Lots of good detail. The reason why it took almost an entire week, the cutting is not a problem. It's the painting. Once you paint the pieces, you got to wait 24 hours for it to dry, completely dry. Then you got to start gluing the pieces together. Then you got to find out, is there any mistakes that are made? When there is mistakes made, then you're going to have to correct them. So there's lots of little things here and there that you got to work through to make it perfect. So I still got to buy the paint. I need to buy another stick like this for the handle, so you can have a place to handle it. Then the glue, I have the glue already. So we'll get the paint and paint it, all the pieces on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll probably get to the part where we start gluing things together. No, actually, on Tuesday, we're going to paint the blade. We got to put the silver on the blade. Then on Wednesday, we'll have the stick fully painted. We'll add that little piece that goes on the bottom over here of that sword. And then we will put it all together. So by Wednesday, if everything goes the way we want to, Thursday at the latest, you're going to have Clint's sword ready to slice and dice and take care of everybody. So let's cut the next piece out. All right, some comments. That looks really good job. Thank you, Waffle. Appreciate it. Oh, cool. I won't be in tomorrow because of work, unfortunately. No problem. So I'll take a look at it afterwards. No worries at all. It's just painting. It's kind of boring. You get me with a paintbrush going paint, paint, paint. It's really nothing. This is the details part. This is the one that people love the most. That people like to know how to do it. How do you get the foam? How do you cut it? How thick do you need it? That's the part that most people care about. So you see this part here, and you get this part down. Painting, anybody can paint, in my opinion. So you'll be golden if you can do that. All right, so let's move the hot knife out of the way. Let's get this both out of the way also. This is just an extra piece. It looks pretty cool. I don't know. I'm going to probably do something with this. Make it into a guitar or something. Who knows? My imagination goes wild when I see pieces like that. Alright, so we're going to use this long piece over here. So I don't need so much board. Hammer the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll show up on stream pretty good. Not yet, so let's move it a little more. Tilt it more down. Doesn't tilt further down. There we go. I think. Okay, so now we're getting this piece here, put it on top, easy peasy, lining it up, with the back, with the tops. Tracing it. Easy. You already have the stencil ready. Alright, so I've carved out, I've traced out another part right there. Gonna turn on the hot knife. I'm gonna cut it out. These hot knives are really, really cool. You can do a lot of stuff with it. They're not too expensive and they get hot super, super quick. Did I turn it on? Yes, I did. All right. Remember, never touch the metal. You touch the metal, you're going to burn yourself. Always keep it on the black. Right, I did a cardinal rule that I don't like doing. I did it on the wrong side. I did it on the plastic. Ah. All right. All right, we're going to do it on plastic. We'll do it. We'll make it work. I think. No, we're not. Okay, we're going to flip it over. Actually, we're just going to peel the plastic off. We're going to peel the plastic off. We're going to retrace it. Actually, I did a deep enough indentation where I can see it, but I had to retrace it. But if you have that plastic, it's going to give you grief. It's going to make your lines really bad. So I am going to have to go over some of this. It's a little too light for my eyesight. So let me retrace that. Let me get that back over here. There we go. Now it's all retraced with no plastic. Shame on me for making a mistake. Knife should be nice and hot now. Oh yeah, I can feel the heat coming right off of it. It just melted right off. carefully separate it. I don't even have to carefully. It just came right off. Just came right off. It's a little bit off from this. Not much. Pretty close to identical. There's a little hiccup here and there, which is to be thought of. You can see there's a little extra piece right here. We knew that was coming, but otherwise pretty darn close. A little imperfection right there. Again, that's easily fixable, but when you're doing a dual sword, when you're having it on both sides of the sword, no one's going to notice. You'll know, but most people will not. So this is flat down like such. This is flat down like such. Let's put them in the right places. Right to the end there. Right to the end over here. Put it at the end there. That's how the blade sticks out. Now, it definitely has some overlap that I'm going to have to work with, but there's your blade part. There it is. Pretty cool, huh? There's Clint's blade so far. I need to glue that piece now. Just to give you an idea, there's Clint's blade, printed paper. Give you a better close-up. Pretty cool, huh? So, that's what we're doing right now. We got the pieces we need, that little small piece at the end. This little one, I'm going to do it off stream. It's a little, it's quick, it's easy. It's not going to be anything that's hard. I'm going to do that at the end. I still also have to do this little clamp right here as well. I'll paint, tomorrow I'll paint, and then this little clamp, we'll try and figure out how we're going to do that little clamp. I think I'm just going to make, I'm going to just cut up 2 pieces, 3 pieces, and thank you, I appreciate you saying it looks good. I'm going to cut up 3 little small pieces, make it into its own little clamp. As for the circles, these little tiny circles right there, there's little wood buttons that I can buy at a hardware store, or I could buy at a craft store. I'm going to just glue it on top of that. So I need to get brown paint, black paint, and I think I have the silver already. And then I need to get that red ribbon, kind of cloth ribbon to wrap around that. So maybe even, I could probably, and it looks like I have some gray too. So gray, I'll make a note in a minute. So painting stream tomorrow, yes. Painting tomorrow, along with the little clamp that I need to create. And then, yeah. And I don't know, I'm still debating with myself. I may make the handle into foam. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because it's going to be wrapped up. No one will be able to see that it's not round. I haven't made up my mind. We'll figure that one out. That's the lovely part about cosplay, is you can make it up as you go, and you can do anything that you want. So I'm going to write down the paints that I need for all the different colors I see and the materials that I need. I believe I already have the silver. And then we'll just continue on. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I think it's just going to come out really, really nice. Is it going to be perfect? No, but that's exactly what cosplaying is all about. Your own spin, your own interpretation, what looks good to you, and it gets lots of people super happy about it. They're like, oh, cool. So yes, now how do I create the uniform? That's where I get grandma to sew and do stuff like that, or you can buy that if you really want to go all out, like like this person did. Buy the wig and buy the outfit, or make your own outfit, whatever interpretation. So, yeah. That person was pretty cool. I liked it. Soybean, hopefully you can get some styrofoam. You could try it and do it yourself. You already have the hair for it. Clint, come on. All right, folks. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you so much, Leanie, earlier for the raid. I greatly appreciate the raid. You are amazing. I appreciate everyone coming out. This is my very first create cosplay on stream. I love creating cosplay. I really do. Tomorrow we're going to paint. And then Tuesday, this is all if work is not kicking my face in. But we're going to paint on stream tomorrow. Cut out some little odds and end pieces that we need to cut out. Then Tuesday, if everything goes as planned, we're going to glue things together. Actually, we're going to paint the silver and wait for that. Yeah, we're going to paint the silver on Tuesday. On Wednesdays, we're going to glue everything together. And then, time permitting, on Wednesday evening, I'll wrap everything up and should have the completed sword. So, I don't plan to class, it's not my thing. I just appreciate it when I see others do it. Okay, no worries. Anyone that likes to do cosplay, who wants to know how to do cosplay with styrofoam, hit me up. Shoot me a note on Discord. I'll be happy to answer your questions and let you know how I came to doing this and all this stuff. I do apologize for me being so out of focus with all the bright light behind me. It doesn't focus real well with my camera. I guess if I go in like this, you can see me just fine. But I'm not gonna scare you all that much. There you go. Now the light goes good. But anyway, thank you all for coming out. Let's see who's online so we can see who we can raid today. Let's see. Jelly on a Sunday? All right, let's go over to send everybody jelly. You can read comments so fast, epic. I'm glad you think I can. I really don't. Have a good day. You do the same, Soybean. Thanks for encouraging me to do this. I appreciate it. I enjoy doing it. I just don't make enough time to do it. So we'll raid jelly, and this will be pretty cool to see the finished project. So I need to get a bunch of cardboard and a bunch of plastics and figure out how I'm going to mount the camera so you can see me painting, you know. But yeah, enjoy your day, everyone. Let's go say hello to Jelly, and to everyone, have a great Sunday. Why go forward when you can go backward? I will see you all next time. Take care. Raid channel, Jelly Quint TV. Start raid. Go to ending stream. That's not ending stream. Come on, Bloom, get together. That's ending stream. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.
Metamorphosis is 177013. It's a bit worse than Metamorphosis. Am I getting trauma from only Googling? Well, I'm scared. No, don't do it. Stop or I cry. I wonder when our DJ and Queen and Project Melody will do a new collab. Oh, that would be a big hug to Jelly. No, big hug to you guys. You guys are amazing. By the way, Vivi, why don't you have a badge? VIP and Vivi. There we go. Like, I find it weird when people don't have a Senpai ina desu. Kara yoroshiku senpai. Oh my god, backward. BB80. How are you doing, you beauty? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Let me shout you. Oh my god, Cryo.
Phoenix gifted a tier 1
Cryo, what the fuck are you doing? No, we talked about